The Stoics have a simple saying, acta non verba, actions, not words. They teach us that greatness isn't found in the applause of others. True greatness arises from having good character and doing the right thing for the right reasons. For the Stoics, the focus is entirely on their own actions, striving to act virtuously regardless of what others might expect or think. As Marcus Aurelius said, just do the right thing, the rest doesn't matter. He meant that externals, results, opinions, rewards, will take care of themselves. Our true responsibility lies within, making choices that are authentically ours. So remember this guiding principle of Stoicism. Virtue is the only true good. Everything else is just an illusion. Guard your attention like a fortress, allowing only what is worthy to influence your mind. Privacy is more than a shield against exposure. It's a foundation for living a focused and virtuous life. The Stoics understood this deeply, emphasizing the power of discretion and the importance of protecting one's inner world. In this exploration, we'll dive into 7 key areas that, according to Stoic philosophy, are best kept private. For each, we'll uncover the philosophical roots, modern relevance, and practical ways to apply these ideas to cultivate wisdom, clarity, and peace. 1. Your goals before they're achieved. The Stoics teach us to value action over words. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, reminds us, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. This wisdom highlights a powerful truth. Words without action are hollow, and sharing intentions too soon can weaken our resolve. When you share your goals prematurely, you risk exposing them to criticism, envy, or distractions that dilute your focus. Talking about what you plan to do often replaces the energy needed to actually do it. This reliance on external validation creates a fragile foundation, one that can easily crumble when faced with negativity or setbacks. The Stoics urge us to concentrate on the process, not the outcome. By staying grounded in the present and dedicating ourselves to the task at hand, we ensure our actions align with our deeper purpose. After all, the results of tomorrow are shaped by what we do today, the only moment truly within our control. Consider a young entrepreneur with a brilliant idea. They share their plans widely, hoping for encouragement, but instead face skepticism, unsolicited advice, and even discouragement. This drains their energy and diminishes their commitment. Over time, they come to value discretion, focusing quietly on execution rather than exposition. In doing so, they find strength in perseverance and clarity. History offers similar lessons. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus emphasized that progress comes from disciplined effort, not boasting about what we intend to achieve. By keeping ambitions private, we protect them from being trivialized and remain steadfast in our pursuit of excellence. Practical steps. Write privately. Keep a journal to track your goals and progress. This creates accountability without external interference. Act first, speak later. Let your actions and results showcase your ambition, not your declarations. Reflect regularly. Use tools like evening reflections to evaluate how well your actions align with your values. Visualize success internally. Picture your achievements in your mind to guide your actions, rather than sharing them prematurely. Guard your focus. Remind yourself daily that energy spent discussing plans could be better spent executing them. Seek intrinsic rewards. Find fulfillment in your effort and discipline instead of external praise. 3. Your generosity and kindness. Seneca taught that true generosity is selfless, free of ego and the need for recognition. Publicizing good deeds risks corrupting them, turning kindness into a transaction. The Stoics believe generosity should be rooted in understanding our shared humanity, a quiet act of virtue, not a performance for applause. Consider a wealthy individual during a famine who distributed grain anonymously to those in need. Their motivation was virtue, not vanity. Similarly, modern anonymous donors who fund scholarships or projects exemplify selfless giving. These acts preserve both humility and the authenticity of generosity. Practical steps. Help anonymously. Contribute without attaching your name or expecting acknowledgement. Focus on the act. Find joy in the act of giving, not in how others perceive it. Reflect on interconnections. Recognize that acts of kindness strengthen the web of mutual support in society. Resist performative giving. Avoid sharing your good deeds unless absolutely necessary. Reinforce your values. Meditate on the idea that the reward for virtue is virtue itself. 4. Your health struggles. Health challenges are deeply personal. While sharing them in the right context can foster support, broadcasting them widely often invites unwanted advice, pity, or judgment. The Stoics valued resilience, focusing on what's within our control, our thoughts, emotions, and responses. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The Stoics saw hardships as opportunities to cultivate inner strength, not as barriers to a meaningful life. Practical steps: confide selectively. Share your concerns only with trusted individuals who can genuinely help. Focus on habits. Build routines that promote physical and mental resilience. Reframe setbacks. View challenges as reminders of life's impermanence, encouraging gratitude and presence. Cultivate calm. Practice meditation or journaling to process emotions privately. 5. Your fears and insecurities. Fears and insecurities are universal human experiences, yet sharing them openly can make us vulnerable to manipulation, judgment, or unhelpful responses. The Stoics taught us to master these emotions through rational examination and disciplined practice. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, if you are pained by external things, it is not they that disturb you, but your judgment of them. This reflects the Stoic belief that much of what troubles us stems not from external events, but from how we interpret them. Strength comes not from suppressing fear, but from confronting it with wisdom and courage. Sharing insecurities indiscriminately can amplify their grip on us. Instead, Stoicism encourages us to address them inwardly, using techniques like self-reflection and negative visualization to reshape our perspective and fortify our minds. Imagine someone anxious about public speaking. Sharing their fear with everyone might invite ridicule or unhelpful advice that undermines their confidence. However, by journaling their fears, visualizing the worst-case scenario, and reframing their mindset, they can approach the challenge with renewed strength. Over time, they build resilience and grow in self-assurance. Consider Epictetus, who endured physical disability and enslavement. Despite his hardships, he maintained remarkable composure, focusing on what he could control: his thoughts, choices, and actions. His teachings remind us that adversity doesn't define us. How we respond to it does. Practical steps. Journal your thoughts. Write down your fears to analyze and rationalize them privately. Reframe challenges. Use negative visualization to imagine worst-case scenarios and prepare yourself to face them with strength. Cultivate courage. Start small, confronting minor fears to build resilience for larger ones. Focus on virtues. Recognize that bravery, like any virtue, grows through practice and intentionality. Build a support system. Confide selectively in trusted individuals who can offer encouragement without judgment. Marcus Aurelius reminds us, don't be ashamed of needing help. Seeking support is not a sign of weakness, but of wisdom, as it acknowledges our shared humanity and interdependence. 6. Your future plans. The Stoics emphasize living in the present moment, knowing the future is uncertain and largely beyond our control. Sharing future plans prematurely can create unnecessary pressure, distractions, or self-doubt, especially if circumstances change. When we openly declare our aspirations, we risk tethering ourselves to others' expectations or judgments, which may no longer align with our evolving goals. This can lead to frustration or a sense of failure when plans don't unfold as expected. By keeping our plans private, we protect our energy and maintain the freedom to adapt without external scrutiny. Epictetus advised focusing on what is within our control, our actions, not their outcomes. This wisdom reminds us that privacy allows us to work diligently on our goals while staying rooted in the present moment. Instead of seeking validation or approval, we can channel our energy into purposeful execution. Consider someone who announces their intention to start a new business. While initial feedback might be positive, unforeseen challenges arise, creating delays or forcing a change in direction. The pressure to meet expectations can overshadow the joy of pursuing their vision. By contrast, someone who works quietly on their plans can adapt to obstacles with clarity and freedom, refining their path without external distractions. Historical Stoic figures, such as Seneca, highlighted the wisdom of restraint. Seneca observed that speaking less and doing more strengthens resolve and builds self-trust. When we succeed quietly, the victory is ours alone, untainted by others' opinions or expectations. Practical steps. Prioritize execution. Take actionable steps toward your goals instead of talking about them. Let results speak for your efforts. Stay adaptable. Accept that plans may evolve and view change as an opportunity for growth. Celebrate privately. Acknowledge your progress without seeking external validation. Limit public commitments. Avoid making promises in public, which can create unnecessary pressure. Cultivate presence. Focus on what you can do today to move closer to your goals. By keeping our plans private, we create space to align our actions with our values, free from the distractions of external judgment. This approach not only safeguards our peace, but also allows us to savor the journey itself, the growth, discipline, and character we develop along the way. 7. Your personal beliefs or opinions on controversial matters. The Stoics valued harmony and rational dialogue, cautioning against unnecessary conflict. They believed that unity and mutual respect were essential for a flourishing society, and that arguments over differing opinions often distract us from what truly matters. Sharing strong opinions on sensitive topics can alienate others, spark divisive debates, or escalate conflicts. Instead, the Stoics suggest approaching controversial matters with humility, curiosity, and an openness to learn. Marcus Aurelius reminds us of our shared humanity, writing, "Whenever you are about to find fault with someone, ask yourself, what fault of mine most closely resembles the one I'm about to criticize?" This introspection fosters empathy and encourages constructive engagement. By keeping our beliefs private, we allow ourselves the freedom to reflect deeply, adjust our views when necessary, and engage in meaningful dialogue without feeling the need to defend or prove ourselves. Consider how social media amplifies contentious opinions, often leading to public disputes that rarely change anyone's mind. The Stoics advise stepping back from such scenarios, recognizing the futility of arguing for validation. Instead, focus on one-on-one conversations where genuine listening and learning can take place. Historical Stoics exemplified this restraint. Seneca, for instance, encouraged debates not to win arguments, but to seek truth and wisdom. He prioritized preserving relationships and shared values over asserting dominance in discussions. This approach reflects the Stoic ideal that discourse should nurture understanding, not division. Practical steps. Listen actively. Prioritize understanding others over being understood. Ask clarifying questions and listen without forming a rebuttal. Practice self-restraint. Avoid impulsively sharing opinions, especially on public platforms where nuance is often lost. Seek wisdom. Use Stoic principles to guide your beliefs, ensuring they're rooted in reason and virtue. Engage constructively. Approach discussions as opportunities to learn, not win. Reflect on unity. Recognize that differing perspectives can lead to growth and mutual understanding. Seneca reminds us that before speaking, we should reflect on our intentions. Are our words virtuous? Do they serve a meaningful purpose? In this way, conversations become acts of service, fostering wisdom and connection instead of division. By practicing discretion, we allow our beliefs to evolve naturally, free from external pressures or fear of judgment. This restraint strengthens personal relationships and reinforces the Stoic ideal of living harmoniously with others. Final thoughts. The Stoics teach us that protecting what is private isn't about secrecy. It's about safeguarding what is sacred. By keeping certain aspects of our lives out of public view, we cultivate inner strength, focus, and tranquility. Privacy allows us to align our actions with our values, free from the distractions of external judgment or validation. In practicing discretion, we embody the essence of Stoicism, focusing on what we can control, living virtuously, and finding peace within. Let your private life be a wellspring of strength and serenity. Let your actions reflect your values, and let your peace come from within.